All right, hello and welcome. This is CT5. It's been like 2 weeks or so since I last played this game. I said to review it, and now I'm going to review it. Um, so the main things I remember: attacking into martyrs, it's just sort of like being impatient and perhaps not taking some passes when I should have. But let's look at some other. Yeah, it's been a while, so I'm hopefully looking at this from like a fresh mind, fresh perspective, etc. Okay, should I just speed this up perhaps? Play back, speed. Yeah, I can go 1.5 times speed. I'm gonna take forever anyways. It's gonna be great. This is going to be great. Oh, I should have figured out where to move. Yeah, no charges. It kind of sucked not being able to go places, and then yeah, it's like I wanted to go like here, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I could have. Yeah, so I thought about it, and I go for the buff. I go to threaten the, which I think was good, and you know what I remember in game, it worked out well for me. And actually it's pretty reasonable because like I'm already threatening a potential stab or another step, so this is fine. I don't need to go on. If I go on and like, you know, they go on, they engage as well, it's pretty bad. Oh, I kept backbiting. What did I pitch? I already forgot. Oh, hide strips. Yeah, that makes sense. I want to have an attack to be able to like poke and I can use the block check and stuff. That's pretty reasonable. So this hopping on is like reasonable. Oh, that's not. Oh, inspiring presence. Oh yeah, okay. Oh man, that hurts. Ooh. Do I take the pass? So. Like this is definitely one of those situations where I feel I sort of made some uncharacteristically like excessive moves, right? Like so many times I've said in my own videos, hey, you're on the victory square, your opponent passes, like you might as well pass. I think what was going on in my mind was like, okay, I want to use cards on the priest, and I've said this as well, there's not the best reason, that's not necessarily a good reason to not take the pass when given such a good opportunity. And like I already moved my elf on, so I get the priest, so I can potentially get some better stuff on both my elf warriors. Vulnerable goes away, like one less turn of the Battle Rage as well. Like, I hope I pass. I hover over the leadership, I think because it's kind of tempting. Like, now I have some options. Like, it threatens stuff, and I don't like it. That confuses me. I'm still confused by it, but I think it makes sense. I continue to just not pass. Oh, please pass. Now is such a good time. I got greedy once. Oh, I'm concerned about Frenzy as well. Right, because I Frenzy turn 1, which prompted him to move away. Right, so this was something that was really interesting. Like this is some like 1800 shit going on where like keeping in mind the the duration of your traits and using that as a part of a factor of determining like how strong you are, right? Because like, so going into the following round, I don't have Mass Frenzy unless I hope to draw another one, right? Like, but it's like I don't have Mass Frenzy. He has Battle Rage and he doesn't have Vulnerable. So just looking at traits on its own, like better position for him, and you know, I guess I'd read Rune Altruism and probably doesn't want to deal with Elven Maneuvers, etc. So it makes sense. And yeah, if he doesn't feel like it's a good hand, you know, doesn't need to, he has time. I think I get a little spooked and freaked out. Again, like, uncharacteristic of me to use the Yeah. Yikes, this is tough. I opt for lightness, which I think is right. Especially because this one has fewer nimble strikes too, and like, one really interesting thing about this map, I should pause, okay. Like, it's actually very cramped, right? Like, Wizard's kind of like this, it's just like, there's no cover between these difficult terrain garbage everywhere and people's zone of control if you're in the middle. Like, moving's really hard. It's like surprisingly hard on this map in like a warrior versus warrior situation. Okay, so here's where I start to get freaked out, because with Martyrs here, look, he held on to Martyrs from before, right? He was waiting to get as much value out of this as possible, right? Right. He goes into this round where I'm weaker and he's stronger / less weak. Now he bolsters the advantage he can get from the duration of the traits even more. And this is where I freak out, because if he moves on in the middle, like, it's hard, right? It's harder to move around now because of the zone of control here. Like this is like very scary. Very scary. And one thing I do worry about and freak out about is that I guess it'll be, you'll see, I'll get back to this point. But essentially just that dealing with a full HP warrior and standing on the victory squares with Mara's Blessing on is like really hard to deal with positionally. Because it's so hard to move around, right? Like, oh God. Because it's hard to move around, if I want to attack other people, I have to commit even more moves, step attacks, whatever, to get there. And again, as I'm doing that, he can just wait. He sort of has that positional advantage the whole time while being on the victory squares, and then once he finds a sort of weak target who's used a lot of moves, then he can go in. And it's like, shit, if he moves here, well, now I can't really go this way. And then, so what, I move into this way and attack into this one, who has a damage buff and extra armor from the trait? Like, it's terrible. It's terrible, right? So one thing I remember thinking is that, like on my initial reflection afterwards is that, okay, I should slow down. Like, even if he does hop on, then I should back away and just sort of try to slow down somewhat. And alternatively, like, if he does run in, I do have some good attacks. I get a few pokes off and then just back away, right? I don't need to go as hard as I do. I went really greedy to try and full kill the Martyr's Blessing. So here I could have waited just to see I could have waited to see who would benefit more from the accelerated thought. So like, I should have just passed. Again, I have the advantage, right? Like, oh no, I lose out on stuff, but it's like, it was weird because I don't necessarily want to buff either of these two. I might want to buff this dude. But I don't want to reveal the arms. I especially don't want to reveal the sparkling cloth. Yikes. Okay. That's actually really interesting that he just moves first and then step attacks on. Again, I'm kind of surprised he goes here and not here. But, I don't know, I guess one step closer to the priest. So she wants to really get in the way. Like, he doesn't even want you to think about going after this one. Just really wants to try and have me forced to fight this one. The neat thing of him of moving on and then stepping on, so like, he might have another move just in case I start to move other places. But then like, he gets the extra unreliable block to make me to sort of discourage me attacking into him. So here the first thing I'm thinking of is just stay in range for Inspiring Presence, I think. So if I go back here, whoop, value, and now I'm like, oh shit, I have a lot, and now I'm starting to think. Now I'm starting to be like, maybe. So where could I go from here? I could dash, nimble strike, but then he moves away, then I dodge, and then I'm kind of stuck here. Like, I also don't want to commit that much. Like, Sparkling Cloth is sort of movement, but it only counts as movement if they hit me. And since they know I have Sparkling Cloth, are they going to want to hit me? Probably not. Penetrating Lunge on isn't necessarily a bad idea. So I think this is where I start to sniff something here. This is kind of what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. So this is a big sign of like, uh-oh. Also, shit, he pitched the run. So this might actually be a vulnerable target. But again, like if I commit too hard on the priest, then it's like these two can start to go in places. And well, that's the other reason why he moved first. Discard those unreliable blocks. Jesus Christ. And this is what I was saying earlier. I can throw that one poke and then just stop. I don't need to keep hitting him. I don't need to keep hitting him. I'm just wait here. And that's fine. So I think I freak out a little bit here. Like, I do have the option of attacking after this one. And, you know, just sort of counting on Nimble Strike. But I don't... Oh, God, it's weird. Like, I'm afraid of getting this person pulled too far out of position. So that's just taking too much damage. Because if he keeps going in, right, there's 3 people here. He's all kind of surrounded. And movement's getting really hard. It's like, I could potentially whack this one down. But priests are sometimes random and just sometimes have a lot of big attacks. I have no sense what he is, right? It's a fine time to pass. It's a fine time to pass. What do I do? Do I keep going? I think I keep going after this one, which is like the craziest. Ah, I needed to pass. Right? I had the advantage. Like, if he goes back in to hit me, then I can, like, step and then Nimble Strike, right, to stay away from him. I think that was a good time to pass. What is cool is that if I move up, I can move my priest up and start to have defenders block stuff up. Right, like, do I hit this one? Do I hit this one? Like, I have stuff, I want to do things, but I need to wait and be careful. I also can't really complain too much about, like, the overall quality of cards. Okay, this is a pass moment. I run on and get greedy, trying to like bait him and thinking, oh, defenders block pressing bash, greater heal will be safe. But this is a fantastic time to pass. Or even move this one up somehow. But I think this will be a great time to pass. And I think I don't. And I do the worst option of moving this priest up. Or maybe not necessarily the worst, but the greediest. And ooh, I drew a vulnerable from the Inspiring Presence earlier. Wait, how did I draw there? I know. Where did the vulnerable come from? Whatever. Yeah, inspires himself. Wow. This is weird. And right, see, I keep hitting, like... And that was, like, killer. But already, like, I was playing a really dangerous and risky game, right? But, like, that really hurts. The other thing I was going to say earlier, I can't really complain about card quality, because, like, we both got 2 greater heals. We both had defenders blocks, like, a lot of stuff was happening. God, I can't get behind for Like, I wanted to get behind for a nice big... Like, I'm counting on a punishing strike to be able to poke him down, but then, like, what? He just smacks me. Do I start healing? Oh, Powerful Hack makes so much sense. Except it doesn't. He's 21, minus 9, 12. Punishing Strike drops down to 1. Greater Heal puts him as... He has 2... So right. I remember he has 2 Greater Heals to 17, and then I just still die. Or everything else. I just give him so many cards. Oh, I just fucking went for it? Like, the whole point of Martyrs is that I smack him with other things, I draw, I give him more things, and then I set up an unblockable. I sequence this poorly, I freak out a bit, worried about... What do I worry about? Like, I could have waited. I guess I was worried about a Mighty Bludgeon? 2 Mighty Bludgeons? Oh, that extra vulnerable is killer. Oh, right, because he had the extra buffs, too. And, like, yeah, I misplayed it. I think if I went attacks first, there's a chance I pop him down. There's also a chance he just gets all this stuff and I lose, but... No, it's too low, or he used so many attacks such that I don't have the punishing strike damage now. I mean, this is the situation I was looking for earlier, but if I had the 2 extra cards, it's a little bit more damage. But I've just lost too much. I passed here, I think, thinking that he doesn't have enough to kill, and so I should stop attacking him. Or no, I just fucking go for it anyways. It's too little, too late. 1 more Greater Heal, and GG. Right, and so, like, oh man, what if I had gone after the priest instead? Things could have gone really messy with the with all the fighting from this, but... Oh god, I see this and I just feel so defeated because it's just like... And oh, he has more attacks. Like, I can't complain, right? Unreliable block worked. Like, all these things worked. I just had a very bad sequence. I think freaked out a little too much. Just... We still had gas. Right, like this following turn he still has Martyrs up and everything. It's not played well. This is one of those moments where I just feel embarrassed, where I spent so much time thinking and I only to make like the wrong plays. That's the worst feeling. I think I just like, yeah, I wasn't decisive. I didn't have a coherent plan of attack. I was very wishy-washy. Like, I think being a little more committal potentially could have done things. Also, like, the other weird thing is, like, usually when I go against these teams, I really like taking down one of the warriors if possible. Because, and you know, maybe this is something where I should be more flexible. It's just like, I've seen enough games, and maybe, I don't know if it's just from me watching games or maybe some from my own experience, where it's like you focus too heavily on the priest, and then the 2 warriors, they just don't care, and they just like you take so much incidental damage trying to get to the priest and killing the priest that the warriors, you ignore the warriors, they're hitting you the whole time, and then they just easily clean up, even after you've even if you get the kill on a priest. And like, humans are scary. They got that extra HP, they can do a lot. I know this is a good player. But this might have been one where, right, like, I had Sparkling Cloth, I had a dodge, I had a Nimble Strike. I probably had enough movement to get away from him. Right? Looked like he had this warrior, I think, had a run, dangerous maneuver, and a Nimble Strike. But again, every time he hits me, I move away a little bit. It would have been hard. He would have been able to catch me, but it would have been hard. And like, and right, like if I'm all the way out here, and then I can maybe sneakily trying to find a good spot for a sneaky long range greater heal from a priest or whatever other nonsense. Like if I'm over here, then he has to choose between going after to kill my sort of isolated guy or fighting over here. I don't know. I think I made the game too easy for him and too obvious, and then like because I was wishy-washy, I made the game a lot easier for him. And yeah, but gotta give credit where credit is due. Like very strong deck, very good player. Again, the waiting and finding the right time, like right, using buff durations as an indicator of when you're strong and when you're weak is like, it's good stuff. It's good stuff to think about, and he made very good use of that. So there you go. There's some things. Maybe, hopefully that was useful. Hopefully that was fun. I was glad I played this game. I don't know if I'm necessarily even learning the right lessons from it, but I just feel so just like watching everything fall apart. Like I feel like I had stuff and just kind of. And like this is what and like part of the buff duration thing is why I think I should have like slowed down, right? I didn't have frenzy. This deck really wants frenzy. Like this warrior, all of this needs frenzy for him to be an actual threat, right? Like this warrior, he had the big attacks. That was cool. Yeah. It's just so easy. Like if we go back to, oh shit, this game. He swings in and I hop back. Okay. We get to this position. Like, do I actually want to pass here? Like this and all of this says no, go in. So sure, that makes sense. So it's like here I can go. Hang on. I'm gonna watch from here. So like I talked about like, yeah, I make some moves and maybe I should commit harder onto some other people. It might have been good to go for the priest. I guess he had a defender's block, but like that's still. Oh no, I got a free stab off, so this was some point later. Anyways, let's keep watching. I feel like there's some moment around here where I probably could have passed. He is in a weird spot where they can't move well. Either. So this could be a pass moment. This could be a stab moment. Like this is the really nice thing. Right? This is why stabs are great. You can attack without sort of committing a move, committing your position. You can make people kind of freaky. So I think like moving up here, playing the stab, totally reasonable moves. The target, that's up for debates. General game, like, okay, right? In general, don't attack the person with the Mars. But this is such a strong positional advantage that will like sort of have a lot of influence on how I play. It's like if I can get rid of him, if I can get rid of him quickly, such that he doesn't get to use all those cards, right? Like, I have a chance. But that's not the timeline we live in. I think I should have considered all the maneuvers. Right, because like imagine having gone here. Like if I go here, I smack. It's behind, so no defender's block, which could freak me out, right? That would be a nasty surprise later if I'm not careful about it. And so it's like, right, I hesitate about going in. 3 cards to 3 cards. But just like, if I keep hopping around, it's like I'm letting each one get to smack me with their best attack, and it's like, oh, I don't really like that. So him moving back, that's smart, right? He recognized, oh shit. Male, kind of awkward. Also, like, actually really, that's a really good move. Like, he doesn't want to attack into me because between the 2 unreliable blocks and dodge, like, reasonable chance one of these things happen. If I decide to commit further, right, so we know that he has a nimble strike and a strong hack still. If I decide to commit further, he has the option to swing back in. Like, this is actually really nice. It probably helps he has the greater heal so we can just sort of like wait and see who needs it more. Like, that's really smart. And again, I think, it's, like, this is a reasonable time to pass. So like, again, I don't necessarily want this one here because it makes moving really awkward, right? But same time, if he wants to move and commit, then he's moving more, I don't know. Like if I want to move, like I think moving my warriors, this, oh yeah, this, yeah, pretty scary, pretty good. Don't have a good way to keep attacking. I don't necessarily want to attack because then I get close to this guy who has a million cards. That's really good stuff. Alright. I think I've exhausted. I feel like this is a good spot. Alright, hope that was fun, hope that was useful. Thanks for bearing with my rambles. And obviously thank you all for watching. The 20 of you. Hope that was fun. I will see y'all next time. When could I stream/play? Maybe I can find a time this week. We'll see. I have to do it within like 1 or 2 weeks, so soon. Alright. Take care, y'all.